me log in with my user ID. I'm logging with the root user. So now in yesterday's lecture, we talked about the arguments, right? So in the arguments, we have discussed there are different, arguments. Arguments are what? These are command line arguments. It means if whenever you are passing the uh, argument to along with your script execution, so those are the command line arguments. And how you can access is $# to find the total number of arguments. And if you use dollar at symbol, then word-wise you can get it dollar and then asterisk, which is entire all the arguments as a single word. Okay, so that uh, we have discussed. If you want to access the file name or script name, you can say $0. If you want to access first argument, then $1. Second argument, $2, and so on. If you want to see in some commands, this is not related to argument, but we have discussed so many times that if you are executing some command and you want to see whether my previous command get executed successfully or not, then you use $? So it returns 0. 0 means it is successful, and if I say it is non-zero value, then it is uh, that particular command or is not executed successfully. So we can program it in our script by saying that whether the previous command was successful or not. Then after we discussed about the arrays. Okay. So what is array? Array is the collection, right? Collection of elements like we have seen one-dimensional array where we can keep like I have given the example, you are having servers and servers equals to say server 1 space server 2 and server 3 and so on. So what you can do, you can access these elements, right? Instead of, for example, I want to see there are 5 services every day, whether those services are in running state or not. Right? So that example I have shown you. So you can simply say systemctl is active command. Right? If it returns 0, it means successful. If it is 1, then it is not. Or non-zero value, then it is no. Right? So that also we have discussed in our yesterday's lecture. Now, in today's lecture, we will be talking about the file operations. So in the file operation, we will talk about that how you can deal with the files. It's basically writing into the files, how to read the files, right? How to check the files. So all these things we will be discussing. Right? So, and that is, we know that if I run ls-l command, it will show me the files, right? Let me go to my script folder. And here you can see we are having these directories. Directories are also file, right? So uh, if I say ls minus l, so we already discussed there are some permissions, right? If it is D means it is directory. If it is without D, it means it's a file. Now, there are very commonly used operations which are basically used with the file, and that is basically to test the file. Right? Say an example. If I say I want to check whether a file exists or not, to check file exists or not. So what I will do, I will use minus E operator. Right? So I will say simply with the means you can use with the if condition minus E operator. For example, let me create a directory and I will call it as file operations. Let me go inside this directory. Now let me create a file, say nano, and I will call it as um, I'll say exist file exist. Right. So what I will do here, I will simply say that file equals to, we'll take some variable, right? So file equals to some file. Any file we can take, say etc password, this file exists, right? Or what we will do, we will pass that file as a command line argument, which is $1. Okay, we will see at runtime that this file exists or not. Right. So now this is my file name. Now, if this file exists, if and then I will use minus E operator. Okay, so it will check whether file exists or not. Which file? This dollar file. Okay. Whether this file exists. If exists, then echo, you can say uh, yes, file exists. Right? Else, you can say echo file not found. Right? So let us try this. Let me give the full permission. So now if I say uh, dot slash file exist, and I will pass the file, say slash etc slash password. So see, file exist. So this file available and it exists. Now let me give some different file names. Say password, file not found. Okay. So this way you can check that uh, that file exists. If you want to see that a if you want to see that file exists and it is a regular file. Okay. Regular file means normal file, which is uh, right. So you want to check it's a normal file or regular file means a file which is normal file, not linked soft link file or hard link file. So we can also check that. So if I say nano and I'll say file regular dot sh. Okay. So probably so we could copy that code. It is basically same code, but we need to use a different option. So let us try that. So I will say file equals to $1, right? And I'll say if and minus F option. Minus F option is for file exists and is a regular file. So I'll say minus F and um, that file name, which is dollar file. If this file exists, then fi and else. So I'll say echo. This is a regular file and exist. Otherwise, file echo either file not exist or file is um, file is not a regular file. Okay. So there could be anything. So minus F option.
So how we will know E is for that and F is for this? Like we have multiple other
Options, right?
new
You can
option.
so you
Man,
can so basically we can use the help.
help, right? Okay.
So with the help or man command, what you
Mm.
can see, what are the things which are available. So in my notes, it is already mentioned everything, whatever like in GitHub repository. So under the file section, so you will find everything. Okay. Otherwise, we can run the help command. Okay.
Okay.
Help or man command uh, to find these options.
Mm. Okay.
I will show you that also.
Sure.
So now, so what we are doing here, uh, we are basically checking here that file is a regular file or not. I think code is fine. We'll save this and we'll say CS mode. We will execute. So file either does not exist or not a regular file. Regular file exists. So, so this way, uh, we can check the uh, we can check the file is uh, normal file or a regular file. Other option is minus T. Minus T is basically minus T is the one which basically returns you that it is a directory or not. See if I say ls minus L, so we are having files. So if it is a directory, we can check that uh, whether that is a directory or not. So I will just take a copy of my file exist and I will call it as file directory exist. dot sh. To the system. Now what I will do, nano and directory exist. So here I will use -d option and I will say directory exist or directory not found. Now if I say directory exist /etc, yes, directory exists. Okay, so uh, if I take some other one, which is etc1, so directory not found. Right? So now uh, now next one is uh, that -d -e, and now next one we are having permissions. Okay, means you want to see whether it is having a readable permission or not, whether it is having a write permission or not, whether it is having the execute permission or not. So you can use, so I'll take a copy of file exist and I'll say file read. I will show you one, others you can, other options you can try by yourself. Right? File read dot sh. So if I say nano and file read dot sh. So I want to check whether it has a read permission or not. So I'll say read permission allowed. No read permission. Same way, you can check minus, you can check minus, uh, uh, that is minus W for write, minus X for execute. So, so now let me save this. So now we will execute this script. So now I will say um, that dot slash file underscore read, right? And we are checking some file. As an example, I will give this file underscore exist dot sh. So read permission is allowed. And if I take some, if I remove that permission, if I say chmod and 000 for file underscore read dot sh, right? Now, if I run same command again, oh, sorry, not read, file exist. So now, 1 second, ls minus l and file exist dot sh. It should not have the Uh, it is not having the read permission. Why it is? 1 second. Uh, File read.sh. Okay, let me check. Nano and file underscore read.sh. So that looks good. Minus R only we need to use for the read permission. Mm, uh, if minus R $file read permission files. Okay. Mm, let me see. It should work. Okay. So let me do one thing. Uh, Let me see some other file, but here it does not have the read permission. Read permission is allowed. Let me see whether I can read this file. File underscore exist. Okay, because I'm a root user, I'm running it as a root user. Let me do one thing. Let me exit from the root user. Okay, I'm a normal user now. Now, my current directory is Raman. So I go to script directory. And if I say ls, cd, and file operations, now ls. So I will execute this command now. Okay, see, no permission because as a root user, I was having the full permission. Even though it is showing the means when I'm able to run this command, which returns me the file, so it means I can read. I have a read permission because I'm a root user. But now I'm a normal user and I want to read this file, I cannot read. So if I say cat and file underscore exist, see, no permission. Okay, so we need to check in two is one is that who is the user who get logged in, and I'm logged in right now with a normal user. Okay, and that user does not have the read permission. So minus R will give you that result. Now let me again log in as a root user. Now see me minus W for write, minus X for execute. Okay? So you can check that file is having write permission, means you can change the file or you can execute the file or not. All right. So that you can try by yourself. Now, another is if you want to check my file is empty or not, or whether it is having some data, then minus S option. So if I just copy file underscore read to file underscore empty dot sh. I'll say nano file underscore empty dot sh. So I will use minus S option. So which say that uh, file has some content. And here we can say file is empty. Okay, let me save this. Now we'll say ch not required. So I'll say dot slash. When you copy, the permissions also get copied. Okay, that's why I'm not running the chmod command again. Now, if I say my file, which is file underscore read file, so it has some content. We will create a blank file with the touch command. Now I will check blank file is empty or not. So this file is empty. So it will detect that whether file is empty or not. Right? So now where you can use these as a system administrator, you can run some commands like when you are taking a backup. Right? I will I will show you one example. Right? Other you can try by yourself. Right? So for example, I'll create nano and backup.sh file. So what I will do, for example, I want to take the backup of my sum file, right? Say, let's call it as configuration file or database file or etc. But before doing that, you want to check whether that file exists, right? If that file, uh, if that file does not exist, then just pop up some messages, some error messages. So if I say if that file, which is slash etc slash ssh slash sshd conf, this is the sshd configuration file. So if this is a file, if this, I want to take a backup of this. I want to take a backup of with the date and time. So I'll say backup equals to, and I will give slash some directory and a root uh, backup, right? And um, backup, and we will give some meaningful name like SSH underscore. I want a date variable. I'll say date, right? And with some format with the percentage F only date I want. And I want to I want to have dot com. Now, before running the backup command, what I want that there should be a check that my configuration file exists or not. So I'm showing you without script argument, and you need to try with the script argument how we can use this. Okay. So I will say if, right, and you can say minus F and dollar conf. If this file exists, right, then perform the operation. Okay. So you can say copy this file to the that, etc. Right. So you can say copy, or you can say echo taking the backup. And then you can run copy command, and you can say copy my dollar on to dollar backup. Right? And then you can say echo uh, backup is done. If it does not, then you can simply say echo. I'll say um, conf file does not exist. and it does not exist, and there is no backup. Right. So we can, as a system administrator, now this will be helpful, these operators. So I'll say this. Now, if I say chmod and 777 to this backup.sh file. Now we'll do one thing. We will first execute it. I don't know whether that backup folder exists or not, but let me try with this. So with the date command, there is some issue.
This SSHD config, the config file name.
Oh, that is fine. Actually, there should not be a space. So this is our new file. This will be a new file, right? So we can give the SSHD or SSH. So that does not matter. See, I'll show you. So it is in file. So that file does not exist. SSHD, okay, source file does not exist. Or you are saying this one, right? Okay. So, so no. So it is saying copy cannot create the regular file. This no such file or directory. Taking the backup. Okay. So that backup folder does not exist. Okay. That backup folder does not exist. So now you need to do one more check, right? What check? You need to modify this program. What modification? First of all, you need to check whether that backup directory exists or not, because this is to be copied into backup directory. Third, like here, I got the error, right? But next command got executed, backup is complete. So you need to check whether previous command got executed successfully or not. If it is so, then run this command, backup is completed. Otherwise, not. Understood? So you need to, I'll give you this code and you need to modify this code. This will be a, good practice for you to, so I'll just put it here. Okay. What modification you need to do? Number one, so in this code, what you need to do, modification, number one, and please do that. It will be helpful, until unless you make your hands dirty to write these kind of scripts. You will not, you may be understanding what I am doing, but how you will do. So that is totally depends upon how you are practicing. Okay. So what changes you need to do, you need to replace hard-coded this source and destination, right? Source and backup file, right? So using command line argument. That is one change. Second, backup directory exists or not. That you need to check. You need to check that um, backup directory and destination, and you need to check that previous command means when you are taking the backup, whether the previous, because see here this command get failed, but next command get executed. I don't want this command is to be executed because this will be a this will be saying that backup is completed, but it is not completed, right? To check whether the previous command is executed successfully. If not, then do not print message backup is complete. All right. So that you need to do by yourself. It's super easy, right? And is it okay? And will you be able to do that?
Yes, that and an
Sure,
or
we'll try.
we'll have
Sure.
to put that. Yeah.
Yeah. And you need to use dollar question
Dot
uh,
question mark.
dollar
Okay.
question mark to check the previous status, right? So if the CP command is executed successfully, then dollar question mark returns 0. Otherwise, no. So actually, this is called the your uh, testing your uh, what we call testing the file operations. So um, if I say test minus f and file underscore read dot sh, right? So if I use this test operator, right, with the conditional statement, so let me see if we can see the help of test. Yeah. So if you see help of the test, so you can see all these options, right? So you see minus R to read the file or not. That is what you are asking, Fatima, right? Where we can
Yeah,
see this
correct.
option.
So
So
E
you
is
can,
file exists. F means regular file. Okay, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So minus D, true if the file is a directory. Minus E if file exists. Minus G and so on, right? I have shown you some of them, but
Mm.
there are many other. And if a new version of Linux comes, then you can see the newer version also. Like if you want to see a soft link file, so you can use minus L option, right? And right. So this is the command help test. Now, next one is that as we know these options, right? So now, uh, for example, I want to read the file line by line. So next is the then of I'll call it file read line by line. So I want to read the file. Any file you can take. Means then you can use those. Then you can use those. Uh, operators minus E, minus F, whatever you want to check whether it's a file, whether it's a directory. So those conditions I'm not putting now. I'm considering that file exists. Okay. So what you need to do, you need to simply loop through the file. So you need to use read operator, and I will take a variable called line and do and done. Okay. So what I want to do here, I want to read this line, echo, and um, this dollar line, right? So what it will do, it will right, it will just read this line by line. But I need to mention the file name, right? To mention the file name, we need to use the input operator here and the file name. My uh, my file name is dollar file. So it means what it will do, it will read each and every line of the input file. Let us see. So I'll give I'll give file name, any file. For example, I want to read file underscore uh, read dot sh. See, I'm able to read the file. So what it will do? It will just read the file. Now there is a question to you. What you need to do? You need to read this file. Which file? If I take this one slash etc and password file. Right? So each line indicates the total number of users. And there is a user which is having no login. So it means those users cannot log in, but they are created. Right? So these are for service accounts, or whenever you install something and that is not a regular user, but to run that service, you need an account. So those are no login count. So what you need to do, you need to count the users from etc password file without no login. Okay? Means those users who can access this terminal or this Red Hat using a uh, using login. Okay, so that you need to do. I will put it on the chat window also, so that you will have that. Okay, so you need to do this. Please note down in your, wherever you are noting it down. Okay, so now there is one second. So okay. So now next thing is that logging and debugging. So next topic is now logging and debugging. So what is logging and debugging? So there is a utility which is called logger. Okay. So this is a command line utility that allows your script to send log message directly to the system log. So what is system log? System log you will find under where and log and messages. So this is a system log where you will find it, right? Or this, or maybe in Red Hat, we find it under where log. We'll check that log and syslogs. Okay, so this is in Ubuntu, right? So we'll see. So if I say ls where log, okay, and there is a messages file, right? So let us see. If I say where log and messages, and if I say cat, so I can see that November 9 today, there is something happened, which is the system logs, right? I can see that my Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9 operating system, something it is doing. So if it is basically used for the, it is basically used for your system related things. Now consider your shell script which you are running that is doing some operation and you want to send a meaningful message into the into this log. So then you can use logger and I'll say this is my custom message. Command get executed and you can see this is my custom message is added into this system log. Right. So this will be very helpful when you are running your shell script and you want to see. So I will say I can also write this command tail minus n. I want to see last say 2 lines, right, of my where log and messages. Right. So here you last 2 lines I'm picking up, and my last line is this. So so now um, right. So now whenever you are using these log files, right, and you want to add a tag identifiers. So I want to add the tag or script name, which script basically it has executed, right? So you can use uh, tag, right, and into your log. For example, if I say logger, right, minus T for the tag, and your script name. For example, my file name is backup backup script, and you are saying that backup is started. Okay, consider you are writing into your script file. When you run this command, right, now you have given the tag, so you can see it is showing that backup is started, right? So it will give you the tag that so that in RHL you can mention that this is my tag. So it means I have added my script in my script these tags, right? So it is saying on your RHEL backup script. So it is considered as a tag, right? And backup is started. Now, uh, next one is that you can also define the some logging levels like info, warning, error, etc. So that also you can mention, right? For that, you can say um, minus P option, right? So if I say um, logger and minus P, right? And you can say user dot info if it is information, right? Say system is or system check started. So now if you let me see last one or last two messages. So here you can see this is the information which is saying that this is system is started. Same way you can put the error message also. If I say uh, -p, which is priority, and I will say this is user dot error and system is um, something crashed. Right? So now it is having that message which is saying that system is crashed. Right? So this is only for the, if you want to differentiate that this is my error message, this is my information, etc. Or warning also you can use. Right? So now next one is that um, you want to uh, you want to use some variable. So variables that I will it's totally up to you that how you can use. So you can log the variables also, right? Means, for example, you are saying the user who is executing this command, that user is to be recorded. So that you need to try by yourself. Okay. So you just need to take a variable, who am I is the command, and you just put that user information when this user was running and he was getting this error. Right. So you can now another thing that totally up to you how you can use this. You can say if ping c1 google.com, if it is not working, then log it into our this file. Right? So those things you can try by yourself, and it is available on my notes also. As if you want to try. So it will just simply say that you have started and you want to put some custom message like date and time and something, right? So those things you can put it into normal log file also. That is simple. You can use this redirection operator greater than append operator, right? So you can use if you want to write it into your local log file, but if you want to write it into the system log file, then you can use these things, right? So
Raman, see, generally logs will have like whatever the errors or warnings or whatever we are using everything. But why is there any reason why we are manually typing or we are manually entering the message like you have already done right, the backup is started, like or this is my custom message. So
so
uh,
basically what happens, you want to inform to the system that I took the backup, but backup got failed, right? And you want to record it in your local log file. Yes, you can do that. There is no problem. You can simply use this append operator. But if you want to inform to the system, okay, system, you want to tell that, okay, I tried this, but this is failed, and this is a system level error. Okay, so system log files or system error files, I want to store this information. So if you want to inform to the system, then you can use this logger utility.
okay.
Okay, if you don't want, then you can skip it. This is one method, right? Maybe sometimes
Mm,
your admin says that, okay, if this does not execute, so it should be recorded into the system log, syslog. So, so
okay.
that way we can use it.
Okay.
All right, guys, give me just 2 minutes break. I'll come back.
Sure.
All right, guys, I'm back. So now, uh, so this is the logger utility. Now, next thing is that if you want to create your own logs, right? So this is the logger, but you want to write your own logs, then you can use these operators. Like we have already discussed, right? So this is greater than, which is to overwrite the file. This is append operator, which is append into the file, right? And if you want to write in into a log file, then to and greater than symbol. This is redirect to the errors into the error log file if you want to put. Then if you want to redirect the output on the standard output screen, then you can simply put the ampersand and greater than symbol. So, so means if you don't put it, will just show it on the screen. But if you want to put it into a log file, so your command and that will go into the standard, both standard out as well as error file. Okay. So again, we have discussed so many times these things. For example, if you want to write a script file and you want to log that entries because you want to see how it is getting executed. So far, we are putting it into a, if I show you this, uh, nano and say file underscore read uh, dot message. And if you want to say that permission is allowed and you want to put it into a log file, so what you can do, you can create a log file. If you want to, you know, um, create a log file with some path, you can just create a variable here. So you can say log file equals to $2 maybe second parameter, and I will say echo. And or if you don't want to print it here, you just want to say echo, and you want to append into your log file, dollar log file, right? And here else part, it will go to dollar error file. Right? And here you can declare that variable, that error file equals to dollar. Right? So that way you can do that. And right here I'm passing at runtime, but if you want to hard code, because most of the time log files and error files are inside the code, so you can put those information into the log file. Right? So if you want to put both the information error log file, means you can use that I mentioned ampersand and greater than symbol. If you want to put only error log files, then you can use two greater than symbol or append symbol. And right. So if you want to create a log file, for example, my log file is with date and time something, right? So you can say file name, say an example, if I say my file is file one, file underscore or log file underscore, and you want to create a dynamic file, which is say with a date and time. So what you need to do, tell me, if I want to create on the basis of date.
Sorry, what was the question?
So I want to create a file with the date or date and time.
Dollar,
Hmm.
sorry, yeah.
Yeah, dollar. Yes.
Date.
Braces, parenthesis, date.
Date.
Yes.
Right. So date, and I will say plus and format, right? Dot log. Right. So it will use the date and time, right? Now, again, it depends upon your logic that it will be append whenever it is a current date, etc. So those that thing you can try by yourself. But here I'm just showing you that if I execute this, say dot and file underscore read, and if I pass say file underscore exist, uh, file underscore read dot sh. Right. Something wrong. Sorry. Syntax error. Okay. Where is the syntax error?
We didn't close the.
Curly
Uh,
braces. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Another
Line
one
number.
also we didn't close, is it?
Why is it? Uh,
Uh,
this one. This one. Error log file. Error log file. This is correct. Log file is correct.
so space should come, is it after?
Oh yeah, sometimes this space is
Uh,
a problem. Let us try it out. There are multiple spaces. MBG's redirect. Okay. Line number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here is the problem.
uh,
Should not be a problem. 1 second. The name is how many spaces equal. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. Oh, looks fine. And ah, uh, what is going on? Not sure. Let me remove this else statement and we will do it later. Let us see up till here it works. Okay, it worked. ls. Now our file name was, or there was an error, looks like that's why it was going into that place. Log file, error log file. This file, uh, it does not have read permission. I'll say instead of read permission, I will say f. Um, oh, it is going into the else statement. Okay. Something wrong. Not sure where exactly it is. File log file, error log file minus e file. Let me remove this to check whether there is a problem here or somewhere else. Okay, it is not going into the condition somehow. Okay, file exists has some problem. So let me just go here and put that. Okay, so we'll fix this issue. Okay, now ls. So there is a file get created, log file. Now if I say cat and this log file, so it is recorded. Now you need to add one more thing. You need to add a date time in front of that. Okay? That you need to try by yourself, date and time both. Right? Now let us see that error file issue. Now I will say else, and I will say, oh, we did not pass the argument. Sorry, that was the error. We will give the hard-coded value again, right? Because error files are mostly hard. Oh, that was the error. Sorry, I did not notice. So I'll say error log files, or error log underscore and dollar 8 plus percentage F, bracket close, dot log. Okay. So we will give the, because we were putting $3, so it was expecting third parameter, but we were not having that. So if I say echo and something error, some error you can put, and I will put it under dollar error file. So now if I give a file name, say readline one, oh, still what's going on? Error
Spelling
log,
of error file.
oh, error log file is, thank you. Yeah. Now if I say ls, so you will find there is a error log file. And if I say cat, this error log file, so it recorded my error messages. Right. So
So
this
here we are
way,
creating the error log file with date and time, date, and under that we are mentioning the message as error.
yes,
Hmm.
right. So right. Now let us talk about debugging. Right? So debugging is a method, right, where you want to trace the debug means trace that what is happening before this, after that, right? So uh, there is a set minus x command. So I will say nano and debug dot sh command. Right. Now what I will do, I will put in the on the top set minus x. When you use this set minus x, so it prints each command before it get executed along with the arguments. Okay. So for example, if I say this and I'll say echo and my script is is static. Then I'll say I will make a directory under temp, say test directory. Then some more commands, say echo next command. And at the end, I want to disable that debugging. I'll say set plus X. Now let us save this. Now if I say chmod 777 to debug.sh. Now what I will do, I will execute this debug.sh. So now you can see that this command get output. This output is because of this command. And then this command got executed. Then this command got executed. Now, whenever you are having the error, for example, if I have some error here, say I'm saying echo and date one, which does not exist. If I say dollar date one. Now, if I say this, now you can see, you can easily find out that which command got executed. Okay, so here actually you see this error, okay, not that one, because date one does not exist. It did not throw the error, but here you can see I'm trying to create the directory. Now it is telling you that there is you executed this command and this command returns this error. Okay. So this will be helpful for the debugging point of view, right? Now, sometimes what happens, you don't want to debug the entire code. So set plus X, what it will do, it will stop the debugging. You want to debug up till here only. So you can say set uh, and plus X. Okay. So now what it will do, it will do the debugging up till these two statements. So if I run this, now you can see when I apply set plus X, after that no uh, there is no debugging. It's simply, earlier it was showing echo and then next command. See, earlier it was something like this, but now it is not. So you can do the partial debugging also. Okay. Now you can also use set minus E command. So set minus E command will basically um, tells the shell that exit immediately if any command fails. See here what happens, even though there is an error here, but after that these commands get executed. Right? But you want that my script should be terminated whenever there is an error occurs. So I will open that and I will say set minus E command. Okay, I will remove this one. So I'm simply saying that if there is a error, then just stop the things. So I will say yes. See, when my make directory was giving the error, so it is stopped executing the further commands. Okay. Now, uh, there is something called trap command. So set plus X and set uh, plus C command you understood, right? Set minus E and set minus X command. Right? So it basically for debugging purpose. If you want to define your own custom actions when your system receive any signals or errors, like clean the temporary files, stop the service gracefully or not, or something happened when you press Control plus C, then you can use the trap command. Okay, so now uh, for example, uh, for example, if I if I run a script, say nano and trap script, trap.sh. So here I'm writing a code trap and I'm saying uh, echo, uh, I can use single quotes. And after echo command, I'll say uh, script is interrupted. Then semicolon exit one. Okay. And I want to pass int, right? So now what I'm saying here, I'm saying echo running the script. Okay. Press control plus C to stop. Right? And after that, I will just make it sleep for 10 seconds. And then I'll say echo completely. Right? So what I'm doing here, in this case, I want to handle the control C interruption. Okay. So what I'm saying that script is interrupted, right? Right, and exiting. So if I save this and if I say chmod and 777 trap.sh file, right? Now I will execute this trap.sh file. See, it is saying running the script, and if you press Control C, that is a uh, graceful shutdown. Means it's a graceful stopping my application when I say Control plus C. Otherwise, Control plus C is used for, you know, uh, when you press this Control plus C, right? So let me execute it again. So it is saying that press Control plus C to stop. Otherwise, it will be exited abnormally. When you press Control plus C, right? So your running script is basically stopped gracefully, and the rest of the commands, which is after that, it's not getting executed. I have written that what is uh, what is that? Completed, sleep 10 and completed. So in between, what I have done, I press Control C. So it trapped that message and exited gracefully. So there you can use the uh, trap command. Okay, so these are debugging and trapping, or how to handle the errors in the uh, in your scripts. So scheduling part we will be discussing next lecture. All right. So any question? So just walk through, because today's lecture is little bit, especially after file operation, this logging part, right? So try to check this video again, right, to understand these topics. And in next lecture, we will see the how to use the cron tab jobs to execute our scripts automatically. All right.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ravi.